Hey, lead changing community. I am your host, Steve Robinson. Today is November the 7th, 2016. And yes, we are 7 days, that's right, 7 days into the hashtag Made Up Mind Challenge. The Made Up Mind Challenge, if you haven't heard yet, is a power of making up your mind to do something. So, over the next 21 days, whatever it is that you decide to do, we will do it together. I have decided to put out a podcast every day for the next 21 days and also be in the gym. Now, whatever it is that you need to dive into and go all in, you hashtag Made Up Mind Challenge. And at the end of your 21 days, go back, search the hashtag, and see your progress. See what you've done and continue to move forward. Now, as part of this, I still bring in expert guests to be able to talk to you, to lead the change, and empower you from where you are now. Today, my guest will be Larry Baxter, who is a credit guru. He started in 2010 with opening up the Elite Financial LLC service, which is a full service credit consulting firm. And he's been in the credit industry for over 20 years. So, without further ado, I'm going to let you all hear the conversation that we had to basically help you from where you are, to lead the change and empower you from where you are to where you want to be, and learn more about your credit because it's very important and it's a lot of things that you don't know. So it's going to tell you how to increase your credit score and the do's and don'ts of credit. And with that said, let's get into the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast, where we empower you in your now and lead the change you want to see in yourself and others. Without further ado, here to serve you, your host, Mr. Steve Robinson.
Welcome to the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast. I am your host, Steve Robinson. As always, I am truly grateful for you. I am truly grateful for everyone that listens. Please make sure that when you listen, that you leave a review on iTunes, leave a comment on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, however you listen to the show. We do have shows that come out every Monday and Thursday. It is leading the change in you from where you are now and helping you change that in yourself and others around you. And today, as always, I like to bring in someone special. And this one is important today. This was an important and actually came on at a great time because of those of you all that keep up with the program know that I have started the Made Up Mind Challenge, hashtag Made Up Mind Challenge, which is where you make up your mind over the next 21 days to dive all in whatever it is that you are trying to change about yourself or grow, and you go all at it. And so with that, I'm going to tell you who I'm bringing on today. It is a dear friend of mine, Larry Baxter, another West Virginia native, Marshall University again. Larry is an entrepreneur, started in 2002 after graduating from Marshall University. He has a bachelor's in business management. He then started True Source Investments, a real estate investment and credit consulting firm, in February of 2002. He sold the rights and the name of that business in 2010 to start the Elite Financial LLC, a full-service credit consulting firm, in 2010 up until the present time. Larry has been in the credit industry nearly 20 years and has seen all the ups and downs of many of the changes that have transpired in the financial and credit sector over the years. Now, I'm not going to get too much into everything that he does because I'm going to allow him to do that. And I want to welcome my guest right now, my boy LB. How are you doing today?
Steve, I'm doing fantastic, man. Super well. Glad to be on the show. Looking forward to a very great show today. So I appreciate the invite.
Man, that's good, Larry. And what we're talking about today is credit. The title of it, I'm gonna come up with this title: how we gonna work the how to fix your credit, how to help yourself with credit, what we don't know about credit, what you think you know about credit. I mean, Larry, I need you to help. You got to cover it all. We need you, LB, today to help us cover everything from X, Y, and Z. I mean, just doing some of the research, which I like to do. Anybody that comes on the show, I like to do a little bit of research about the topic that we're going to discuss, and just going through the credit part just gave me a headache. Like, man, just talking about how the average household debt is over 130-some thousand, 15,000 in credit cards, and then when it starts to breaking down the age of who's in debt, the race of who's in debt, and I mean, Like help me out with this. Like, what is credit? I mean, I mean, we all supposedly know what credit is, but just what is credit? Like, what does credit mean?
Yeah, credit is it's been transformed. I've been doing it, like you said, since about 2002. And I'm learning stuff each day in reference to credit, how it changes people's lives, from employment, from military, the whole nine. So, in a nutshell, what credit is basically the risk in which a lender weighs on a particular individual in reference to their investment on their return on investment. So, for example, like a bank who lends credit cards, business loans, personal loans, they look at your credit report to assess how likely you are to get, how likely they are in order to get their funds back. So that's, credit, will consist of all those different factors: your account information, your inquiries, personal information, the whole nine consists of exactly what credit is. But in a nutshell, it's based on risk.
Okay.
So the more risky you are, the lower your score is. And the less risky you are, the higher your score is.
Wow, and seeing that, it's like almost like a psychology behind it. But one of the studies that I had found was talking about income versus the cost of living, and like the cost of goods are 30% higher since 2003, but and the cost of income, I mean the rise on income is only like 26%. Now, yeah, that's only a 3 to 4% change, but that number is yet so small, but yet so major. So what do you think is the cause of why people really don't take credit serious until it actually hits them?
Yeah, the main cause, I believe, and from the people that I've talked to, is they just don't know about it.
Mm,
We haven't been taught that school wise. We're not taught, how important credit is, what credit is, the impact it has, on us individually, as well as an economy. That's one of the biggest reasons why we've seen, in 2007, 2008, in reference to the whole financial crunch and the credit crunch, that was all a breakdown of credit in reference to mortgage loans and lending practices and things like that. So I just think one of the biggest factors is we just don't know about credit until we need it and can't get approved for something because of credit. So then it almost forces us to kind of dive into it
mm,
because unfortunately we're not taught that in school.
mm. That's very true. And actually coming from the African American community, which we are both from, we are really not taught about that growing up. I mean, maybe you might, if you pick out 10, I mean, you might could tell me one, but for the most part, we already understand they don't know nothing about credit. They didn't know how to teach you credit, and it is what it is. And then by the time you get to college, yeah, and I always tell the time when I made the mistake when I first got to Marshall, they were giving out all those credit cards and you could sign up for them for free, and it was like you getting the same card from the three different cards from the same company, just running credit up, and you're not even
Exactly.
paying attention to what's going on, and you don't even know where to begin to how to fix that stuff. So what are some of the things that people don't understand that they're like, I didn't know, even as far as paying like simple utility bills and things like that on time. I had to learn that about what are some of those things that we really need to know to basis to start the turnaround for our credit. What are some of the first things we need to do to get our credit in order?
Yeah, the first step is always getting a copy of your credit report.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important step because we may think we know what's on our credit, but I see it day in and day out. A lot of when we have our clients pull up their credit reports and
Uh-huh.
see exactly what's on there, then a lot of times that's a lot of information on there that they have no idea where it is, where it came from. They got different names on there, multiple addresses, so it's a mess. So that is the crucial first step is to get a true assessment of where you stand is to get a copy of your credit report.
And
And
oh, go ahead.
oh yeah, and I would get one from all three credit bureaus of the major credit
Okay.
bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can go to annualcreditreport.com and get one for free. Federal law states that you're allowed one report per year from each credit bureau. So I would definitely recommend that being the first step, just so you can see exactly what's on there, and then, be able to proceed from the next steps from there. But that's a crucial step.
And I believe, Larry, that's where you come in with Elite Financial, because even if you get that and you don't know what you're reading or what you're looking at, and just knowing from what you do, you've assisted over thousands of people across the United States in maximizing their credit rating and making sure that each client has 100% accurate credit report in order to qualify for the best financing options available. And that's what I've read, looking at the site and being a part of your program. And this is not only beneficial for each of us being the client or people who's client, but the lenders are also know more about it. So that's a very good first step. And then, a lot of people say, well, this is stuff you can do yourself. You don't need to pay anybody. You can do yourself. I just realized sometimes, that's not what you do. Yes, you can go out and work on your car yourself. I mean, YouTube has everything, but if that's not your specialty, that's just not something that you need to be trying to do by yourself.
Exactly. And I agree 100%, because that's one of the big questions I have. And, when people come to me is, well, this is just about just sending in letters and I can do this on my own. Why do I have to pay, you or another credit, enhancement company to do this for me? And the biggest thing is federal law. I've done extensive research on federal law, and it's constantly changing. And they do small changes. They don't even announce the changes.
Wow.
So you got to be on the inside in order to kind of be aware of the changes that have been made. And I'll give you a quick example. Okay. Recently, they just changed the scoring model. So the old scoring model is null and void now. So the lenders have gone to a new scoring model. And part of that new scoring model states that if you don't have at least 3 open and active positive accounts or any active history within the last 6 months, they won't even generate you a score now. So you'll walk in with 0 score now if you don't have any activity on your credit report. Wow. So 0, and not even 400, 500, but an absolute 0. So, that's just one of the things that has changed, along with medical collections. Now medical collections count a lot less than they used to in the past. Okay. So that's actually, going to be a huge benefit for, a lot of individuals, especially with, the various things going on with the insurance and the political arena. A lot of times medical collections I've seen hold people back from, purchasing a home. Or, when they get a vehicle, they have to, get a higher interest rate. So instead of, so they're having to pay an extra $250 a month out on an auto loan, and an extra $250 to $300 a month on a mortgage if they can qualify. And what we try to do is we try to put that money that they're spending out back in their pocket by reducing their rates, making sure they have an accurate credit report, and in order to filter their own and build their own economy, and that economy is their family. So, that's one of the key factors that we look at, and one of the advantages of using a credit enhancement company who's well versed in federal law. Not to mention that we have an attorney on staff and an attorney's office on staff who can assist with lawsuits and litigation and the whole nine. So you actually have that backing as well. So it's not just about sending in letters. It's a lot more extensive, because we go through a complete audit, and there's over 20 different account parts, categories rather, to each account that we look at. And federal law states that each and every category in those accounts have to be 100% accurate, verifiable, and up to date. So when we do our audit, allows this information to come to light, and that's what we focus on to get the creditors and the credit bureaus to do what federal law states. And that's either, you got to have it accurate or you have to delete it. And if they don't delete it, and because it's really, when you get down to it, it's really only 3 options. And this is why we try to maximize and our process and try to make it go so quick. Once we send in our legal documentation in reference to what we found on our audit to be inaccurate or potentially unverifiable or out of date, we give them the opportunity to correct that, in which federal law, provides them that time. So they have 30 days to do that. A lot of times they get back a lot quicker, just depending on what it is. But they'll either come back saying that the item has been either deleted, or it's been updated and corrected, or in some cases they choose not to do anything. So, in those scenarios, a deletion is going to work in your favor because that's going to help increase your score. Mm-hmm. A updated account showing where now the account now is reporting accurately, even if negative, is going to hurt your score, is going to help your score. And what we do in that case, because we don't want anything left that's negative and outstanding. Okay. So we take on ourselves to actually negotiate the settlement on behalf of the client the right way, because it's the right way to actually do the settlement. Now, and that's another part of that new scoring model. Now, even if you settle an account, and now once it shows up to be closed with a zero balance, it used to still negatively impact your score. Now, with the new scoring model, anything that's negative and closed, it no longer impacts your score. So it's a huge benefit for, the clients and what we've been seeing. And then the last option is if they choose not to do anything, then that's where our legal team and our attorney, comes on board, and they represent the client for absolutely no charge with our program. So you're getting an attorney that will actually file a lawsuit and work diligently on your behalf for absolutely free. So, you can't beat that. And he's well versed in the law. He's sued the credit bureaus and creditors on several occasions, been in business over 20 years. So he knows what he's doing. So that's why we have a solution for any scenario that comes back. We make sure we have a solution for it.
And that's very important, man. And, Larry, I know, I'm big on talk about empowerment and mindset and helping people get that. And I know that you're a frequent guest on different real estate and other financial service mastermind calls that share your expertise and insight on that financial, in the credit sector. And I want to ask, people have to get that mindset. Okay, that's great because they have that. But now, once you get them set, is there other things because if you can help me get my credit score right, but you still don't know, it's still a mindset. If that mindset ain't there to help you get it, you right back in the same hole again. So are there other things like programs or also with Elite Financial that can help you if you decide to take it, to help you work with keeping yourself on track, or what to look for, or what to do, or how to manage what you do?
It sure is, and that's a great segue and a great question, because we had that a lot in reference to once the client is done, what do they do from there?
Right. So
what we've done is we focus on education. So once you're a member of Elite Financial, you're a lifetime member, and what you get with that is we are starting to do bi-weekly calls, question and answer calls. Credit Insight, and answering questions on our Facebook page, as well as we're going to be going live on Facebook, just answering questions, looking at different things on how the economy is impacting, credit, any specific questions particular to, individual situations. We offer one-on-one consultations because education is key, because we're in the business of enhancing credit. But it's not something, like you said, mindset is key, because I always tell who we work with that, once we get things up and going, then we set you up for success. So we want to set you up to make sure you're able to maintain it and how to maintain it. And as a quick example, with the new scoring model, the balance to credit limit ratio on, say, credit cards used to be you wanted to carry a balance of about 30% or less. Uh-huh. But now that's changed. So now they want it to be less than 20%. So for a quick example, if your credit limit on a credit card is $1,000 and you're holding a balance of $400, even though you're making on-time payments, you're still losing points.
Oh, wow.
So if you would just pay that card down on that $1,000 credit limit, if you pay it up under $200, then you can increase your score an extra 25 to 30 points just by having a lower balance and doing the same thing and making your payments on time. Wow. So, those are little tips and strategies that we continue to teach and and let people know, because like I said, we want people to use this opportunity to empower not only themselves, but their family and their personal economy. So we have each client to be a lifetime member, so that way they can always come back to us at any time with any questions. They can always join in any of our webinars, conference calls, Facebook groups, ask any questions, because we're here to make sure, mentality wise, we got to change the mentality in order to really create change and empowerment within, not only our community, but the economy as a whole.
Right.
But the African American community and economy is essential in the economy as a whole. So yeah, it's a critical piece of that. So, we have to, take responsibility, and that's kind of what myself as well as you and during your, radio shows and when you wrote your book and all that good stuff for empowerment. And we really got to take that serious and really take that to heart in order for true change to come about.
That is very true, man. And you know what? And I'm thanking you for that, because I know, even with my cleaning business, as you know, when I started that, when you don't have business credit and when you don't have like credit to be able to go, you're starting, everything got to come out of pocket. And a lot of people, and a lot of stuff that you're saying, some people may say, oh, I already know that, yeah, or I heard that before. But the key is being able to still have an open dialogue and talk about it. I believe a lot of times people get nervous or embarrassed or scared because they don't have a good credit score, but so you're scared to ask for help. And I think that's worse than having a bad credit score, because you're not going to ask for help. And this is a great time because we're heading into the holidays, so you already know what people getting ready to start facing with these holidays. What's some things that they need to know going into the holidays with this credit situation, and instead of keep putting it off, like, oh, I'll work on it next year, or I'll work on it after this, or I'll work on it after that. How's a way? Give me some contact ways they can get a hold of you, Larry, and get in touch with Elite Financial.
Yeah, great ways, and a huge tip, right, in reference to the holiday season is planning.
Okay.
Don't do anything, sporadic. You always want to plan what you're going to do and look at the end result before you start. And in reference to, because again, maximizing or maxing out credit cards and all that is going to actually lower your score. So not saying you can't utilize your credit cards, but plan it out and look ahead before you do that. And in reference real quick to being kind of, scared to ask for help and all that, we keep everything 100% confidential. I mean, we work with, thousands of people in various situations. So there's no situation that we haven't dealt with or worked with. And we never look down upon anyone because of their situation, because a lot of it is just due because we just don't know.
Right.
And that's where we come into play, is to allow you, to educate you about the process. And it's not going to be a sales tactic or a sales approach. We let you know exactly what we can do. We try to be as transparent as possible. And if it's something that we can help with, we'll be happy to. But we always, allow you to make an informed decision. But it's easy to get in contact with us. The best way is our website.
Okay.
That way you can access our social media pages. We're real active on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But if you would go to www.legal, L-E-G-A-L, credit boost, BOOST.com. You will find information about our program, what you will receive once you become once you retain our office, all the benefits and bonuses that you'll get. Also, you'll have the opportunity on our website to schedule a completely free strategy session, in which we'll go into detail about your particular situation, let you know exactly what needs to be done in order to maximize your credit rating. Absolutely free. So it won't cost you anything. So, that's the best way. Like I said, our social media pages are on there. We're active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can reach us at the office at 705 1451. So those are good points of contact for us.
Okay, great, great. And all of this will be in the show notes. Everything that he said, all the websites, how to get in touch with him, the email. Did you give your email address?
Email address is going to be support, SUPPORT, at legalcreditboost.com. Again, that's support at legalcreditboost.com.
All right, great, great. Now, like I said, I will make sure that all of those are in the show notes, so you can log on to that. When you log on to listen, you'll be able to go in there and get it. And Larry, I know that the time. I'm respectful of your time, and of course, I'm grateful for you being here. And I want to get these couple takeaways before I ask, like I ask all of my guests, that last question for the Lead Change Empowerment Program. But I want to ask say these couple things about the 3 credit bureaus. Make sure that you get all of your scores. There is a new scoring system out there, so you need to know the model. So it would be best to get in contact with someone to help you. Um, Also, if you go on to their site, you'll be able to get a free consultation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Absolutely free.
Okay, so you'll be able to go do that. So those are the things that we want to make sure that we let you get those takeaways, as well as all the great information you have given. You have given such great information today. I mean, some things that I kind of heard of, not known of, and plus working with you all as well. So we are excited about it. We are excited about the things that's going on. We're happy that to be a part of that organization or be a part of the group. Now, there's one thing that I do have to ask. I always like to ask all of my guests this before they go. How would
Okay.
you like to leave your legacy to continue to lead change? How would you like to leave your legacy to continue to lead change?
I would like to. That's a great question. And I always look at it, don't be afraid to take a chance.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to take a chance. Because, like I said, you only fail if you fail to get up. So always be willing to take a change and explore new options, explore things that may get you out your comfort zone. But never be, always look for that new opportunity. Never be afraid to take a chance.
All right, there we have it. There we have it. And Larry, I would like to know, is there anything that we could do? Could the Lead Change Empowerment Podcast, what could I do for you? I would like any service that I can be of you to help you with whatever you got going on, whatever you have coming up. What can I do to help you out?
Yeah, definitely we'll be in contact.
Okay.
Because we're going to start doing some seminars and working with a lot of media. So just getting the word out that we offer free strategy sessions. We're just trying to really empower the community in any way that we can. Anytime we need to speak with any church organizations, anyone that we can speak with to get this word out and to get the economy flourishing, we will be happy to do. So, that's, kind of the things that we'll need and getting the word out and vice versa. Anything that we can do to help you and lead change empowerment, we'll be happy to do so.
All right, Lead Change Community. I do want to thank Larry Baxter, LB as I call him, for that great wealth of information to help me out, to help you out, to help us all out. Credit is something that's very important that we need to take very seriously. You can reach Larry Baxter at legalcreditboost.com. That's legalcreditboost.com. Also, he's on Facebook under Larry Baxter. He's a Lakers fan and a Raiders fan, but we won't hold those type of things against him. But we do appreciate him for his time. We appreciate you for listening. And as always, prayer, patience, progress in that order. Have a super day.